This video might make me mad.
Why?
Because I grew up in Canada. And in Canada, for the first 27 years of my life, the US look at us and they are kind of jealous, right? Because we have free healthcare, we have kind of good education, we have good safety net. People are not as poor as the US. So they look at us and they're like, wow, we really want to be like Canadian. But then when I went to university and I was surrounded by people that are more progressive, all of us were looking at Norway and Sweden and Finland and we're like, oh my God. So this is what it feels to be jealous of another country. Mm-hmm. Because in Norway, not only do they have free healthcare, they have free education, and a lot of people make a certain level of salary or the government help them. They have help like we have in Canada, but to the next level. And I'm like, in Canada, we look at Norway, we're like, oh yeah, we want to be like them, but we never end up being to that level. There's always too much influence still from America that drag us down a little bit too much. You might not know that, but in Canada, especially if you're on the left, you feel that influence from the US and you're like, it kind of stuck. And if we had Norway as a neighbor instead, I think we would be at the Norway level right now because we have so much potential to be more left in Canada, even more than we are right now. So anyway, why I'm talking about that is because in 2016, the King of Norway, did you know that the other queen?
I didn't know that they still have the king.
The King of Norway made a speech in 2016 about diversity and unity, difference and similarity, his vision for Norway. And 3 years later, they asked 3 women how the King's speech impacted them. So we're going to see the speech and then the people talking at the same time.
Until now, they still have king, right?
Yes, I just said yes.
Wow.
But it's not like in Thailand. In Thailand, we have a king, but we cannot really talk about him. You're going to end up in jail if you talk about the king. So it's not the same thing.
Wow. I'm going to need to study about this.
Yeah, Suji loves history, so maybe she should story about it, yeah. Okay, so let's listen to the speech.
Norge høye fjell og dype fjorder. Det vidder og skjærgård, øyer og holmer. Det frodige åkre og myke heier.
Kongen gikk jo ganske hardt ut der. Han sa jo egentlig at vi må ta oss litt sammen her. Vi må være litt mer åpne nå.
Me in a country that you would think from the outside, yeah, people are so happy in Norway and everything is equal, he still feel the need, the king, to remind people to not forget to still be those kind of things that you want to be, to not forget to be this. It's great leadership. They have a movie in the UK called The King's Speech, no? Also, is it in the UK?
Norge midnattssol og mørketid. Det både harde og milde vintre. Det både varme og kalde somre. Norge langstrakt og spredt bebodd. Men Norge framfor alt mennesker.
He chose to draw a picture of the future and how he wanted to be.
Han snakker jo om du har et mangfold fra naturens side, og derfor så det ikke rart om vi har et mangfold hos oss mennesker heller.
Yeah, that gives me goosebumps because when they were showing people from all different religion and age and ethnicity. And you think about that, even in Canada, because of the US influence, we have a lot of immigrants in Canada, but there's still internal fighting about everything that something happened in the news and an immigrant caused trouble. It's always, well, why we let immigrant in? See what happened when you let immigrant in. And I know in Europe they also have a lot of conflict about that, but no, we're raised above that. Do you know how? In my opinion, if you give people good things, you give them free healthcare, you don't make them poor. They live other country, they come to Norway, and it's for a better life. Help them having a better life. If you don't help them, what do you think is going to happen to these people? They're just going to do what they were doing in their other country, or they're going to end up a bad path. Norway is able to win with immigration, with diversity, by treating people with kindness and with treating people with human. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know what kind of diversity in Norway. Like, for example, are there many Asian? Are there many people in different religion?
I think so.
Different color?
Oh, so you read that argument that Norway is is not extremely diverse compared to the USA, to other countries, so it's easier for them to to feel united.
I feel like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're gonna tell us more.
Og derfor så er det ikke rart om vi har et mangfold hos oss mennesker heller.
Nordmenn nordlendinger, trøndere, sørlendinger og folk fra alle andre regioner. Nordmenn også innvandret fra Afghanistan, Pakistan og Polen, Sverige, Somalia og Syria. Mine besteforeldre.
You name a lot of poor country on purpose so that you know that, like, yeah, we don't just take the white immigrant with us, which is often a critique that you have, that people in Canada and the US, you never complain when someone from Sweden immigrated to Canada. You always seem to complain when it comes from a country with a different religion than you. So you come from a place of discrimination with your critique rather than just being against the concept of immigration. It's more like you're kind of your own bias in a way. Yeah.
Polen, Sverige, Somalia og Syria. Mine besteforeldre innvandret fra Danmark og England for 110 år siden.
Han sa jo det selv, at han ikke sånn etnisk norsk sett, men likevel i Kongo her. Det betyr liksom, vi jo like.
What do you think about that? He's not ethnically Norwegian, but he's still the King of Norway. His parents immigrated 110 years ago.
I think that's normal in the history because there's a lot of cross country, like even Queen, as long as you own the land, like you own everything in the history, no matter where you come from. And as long as you have strong side enough, of course you're going to win the throne.
Okay.
Det betent for mange tematikk. Alle synes faktisk ikke det greit med innvandring til Norge. Alle synes ikke det greit at skeive skal ha samme rettighetene som heterofile.
Oh, really? Even in Norway?
We are living in a time is polarization, social inequality, and because of that we fear whatever we don't know. After the attack in Norway in 2011, of course we're mad, people died. But that anger was not going to bring those people back. Our response should always be more openness, more democracy.
This is a very barbaric concept. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Is you hit me, I hit you back 3 times stronger. Instead of treating people with compassion and realizing that if someone rob your house or rob a bank, yeah, maybe do that because you need money and you need food and he's poor. If you treat your citizen in a decent way, they're not going to feel the need to become thief. It's a little bit that vision of give people things that they're not going to be able to, they're not going to feel the urge to rob you.
Of course, if in that country, everyone is equal, they don't need to fight for your life so hard. You don't need to be a thief or anything.
Yeah, but it's instead of treating people like criminal when that happens, you treat them with compassion. And what would lead that people psychologically to have to steal? Well, I had no money, I needed to eat food. Rarely people become criminal out of because it's fun. There's always a reason that lead them to that.
Det var debattert den norske kulturarven. Hva det? Det jo alle oss, det summen av alle oss. Det det som det norske.
In any other countries, they have a military parade to show off their guns or whatever. We celebrate our day with children in the parade and the king standing there waving, welcoming the future,
Wow!
This is what I was saying earlier. They don't need to show off that because they don't put themselves in a situation where people want to hate them. They're in a situation where in an ideal world, the border should be open and anyone can come here. It's logistically more difficult because other countries have different rules. But, did you know that it's stupid? In Singapore, if you come to Thailand and you smoke weed, because weed is now legal in Thailand, if you go to Thailand, smoke weed and go back to Singapore, if they test you at the airport, you can go to jail. Even if you purchase your weed and smoke your weed in Thailand and it's still in your system, you can go to jail when you go back to your own country, Singapore. So even when you're outside of your own country, you still need to follow the rules of your country of origin. Imagine how bleep up the world is that this kind of thing exists. This is, when I read that, I was I had my jaw on the floor.
Nordmenn unge og gamle, høye og lave. Nordmenn liker fotball og håndball, klatrer i fjelltopper, mens andre mest glad i sofaen. Nordmenn engasjert ungdom og livserfarne gamle. Nordmenn jenter som glad i jenter, gutter som glad i gutter, og jenter og gutter som glad i hverandre. Nordmenn tror på Gud, Allah, altet og ingenting. Med andre ord, Norge dere. Norge oss.
When you feel outside,
This create a society when people are not constantly in competition with each other from an early age, right? I'm guessing that in Norway, when you play sport and you're 8 years old, it's not only about winning. It's about inclusivity with everyone. In Canada, and this is why like I was nervous when I was playing sport when I was young, because ice hockey, especially, it's our national sport, there's a big emphasis and pressure from the parent to win and that your kid become like a pro athlete, because it's like one of the ways that they're going to want to bring good income later on. And in Norway, I feel like it's more about the connectivity that you have with our human and the kindness. And then later on, if you want to become competitive, fine. But they seem to be teaching the children the right values, so it doesn't mess with their brain and create a whole lot of stress, put them into a whole lot of stressful situation.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I never heard of like a kid parade, you know. Always see like a lot of military
Yes.
going on.
But
even
they understand
in the
that
country.
that military thing create a division. And when they put children like that, nobody can complain about that. You know, nobody can say, oh, why do you have children at a parade? No, they have the military. They're like, wait, if we have a military, it's because why do we need it? Like, we what kind of conflict
you will
are
not
we-
contribute to your society. Equality is what made Norway what we are today.
At konvensjonen uttrykker den positivismen rundt mangfold og inkludering og nødvendighet. Jeg velger jo å ta det som et tegn på at det her skal gå bra, at vi skal vinne i kampen.
Når jeg reiser hvor jeg opprinner fra, jeg sier jeg må reise hjem, fordi hjemmet mitt jo her. Kongetalen sier det. Hjem, det der hjertet ditt
Når vi synger «Ja, vi elsker dette landet», skal vi huske på at vi også synger om hverandre. For det vi som utgjør landet. Mitt største håp for Norge at vi skal klare å ta vare på hverandre. At vi skal kjenne at vi, på tross av all vår ulikhet, ett folk. At Norge ett.
This is looking at a speech and an image from the future. In a utopic world, something that like it's so far distant in the future for me as a Canadian that even though Canada we have it kind of good, it's a dystopia, and for Thailand there's no hope. Well, Thailand have had 7 coups d'etat in 50 years.
Yes.
And there's a lot of discrimination, and
I want to go
it's-
back in 50 years ago. We probably gonna be top 10 happy people in the world.
But when you think about Thailand, they always say a happy country, no?
Yeah, happy country. But I mean, if there, nothing going on between election or government thing, Thailand's supposed to be one of the countries that have a good economy, happy people, rich in culture, everything.
What do you think of the concept overall of the video? Norway is one, meaning no matter your religion, no matter your age, no matter your sexual orientation, we're all the same at the end. There's no problem.
Well, I think that's what Buddha always said.
Right? Yeah. The Buddha.
Well,
Is that why that when it comes to sexual orientation and everything in Thailand, it's kind of open, very open about even transgender, very open about everything.
It's
in Thailand?
open, but it's not that open.
No?
It's so weird. I mean, it's open, you see the transgender, everything, but then when you go to like something they still not really accept you, or you cannot even get married. Sometimes when you want to get, even you have a lot of like transgender here, you need to fly to another country to register for do marriage register. You cannot even do it in Thailand. That's so sad. To be honest, I saw this video. I feel like my country have a lot of potential like that, because every time, especially the last king that he's passed away, there's a lot of potential that we can do this, but there are still many people, trying to control something, everything going around. That's why it still stop our country that cannot go forward.
Do you think it's because of capitalism? What I mean by that, in the sense that when you go to a job, you have the boss, you have the worker, and there's always a power and greed dynamic
Yes.
between the boss and the worker, and there's a hierarchy where your economic status, which means how much money you have, will determine how people will treat you in society in general.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what's going on too, and it's never stop. It's supposed to stop at one point. I mean, I hope I'm gonna see that day that we became better than this, and I don't die first, because
Yeah.
they said it's been going on for 60 years.
Now, I know you're going to tell me, I know this video make it look that everyone is united. Since that speech, has Norway gone the right way in terms of united? I know that your prison is kind of, they're known to be like amazing prison with very low rehabilitation rate. I know that you have high tax in Sweden, but you need that to pay for free healthcare, for education and everything. How is it life? Because a lot of you know only Norway. From a foreign point of view, Norway look like an utopia, something that is impossible for us to reach, because it's always like, oh no, that's too much. That's Norway. That's because it's a small country. That's because they only have 6 million people. It's because they don't have a lot of black people. They don't have gang. They don't have this. And I'm like, yeah, but they are going to get there one day to the extreme diversity. They're going to be as diverse as everyone else, because they are thriving that. And it starts with, you see on screen here, the children. It start with that, and it goes a long way from generation to generation. Yeah. So I don't want to talk too much. Is there other video we should watch? We're both quite progressive, so I think Norway fit our value a lot when it comes to how to live life and how to treat others. So yeah, let us know in the comment below what you think. Thank you, everyone.